Hey guys, girls and non-binary pals. We're going to a new story. This is BNHA Five Nights at Freddy's Aizawa shota. Ex-male Michael Afton's brother reader short story. Introduction short story. Introduction short story. This is where Tony and Aizawa adopt Michael. 3 guys go. Tony's pro. I was in the bed in the house with Aizawa. He was cuddling me in bed. I was already up because my alarm went off, but Aizawa wanted some more time to sleep. So I was being cuddled to Aizawa, waited for him to wake up. So I was making sure I did not move in his arms. I was having a hard time for not to move to wake him up. I was nervous because I was feeling sick, so I got up and headed to the bathroom attached to our room. I started to puke in the toilet and not being quiet because I heard Aizawa come into the room and holding my hair, looking at me that he was sorry. I was sick. I smiled and looked at him and he smiled as well. Then when I was done, I pushed him out of the room and I told him that I'm good. And he went and laying back on the bed. I smiled, looked at the drawer, and I pulled out what I was looking for. Thanks to Midnight gave for me. I smiled, looked at it, and took it at the test and waited for it to be done. And when it was done, it came back to me for being positive. I smiled and looked at it and went to Aizawa, and he got up and I gave him the test and he smiled. He got off the bed and hugged me and put his hands on my stomach and smiled, knowing we had a little one growing out inside there. We smiled and looked at each other and we kissed and then headed to get dressed and into our clothes to go to work at UA High, to go teach the new generation of pro heroes. I smiled, and when we were done getting dressed, when we headed to the care kitchen to get something to eat and make our lunches. We were done eating lunch, and lunch had been headed to our school. We worked, and as I was all protected of me because we were expecting, I smiled, looked at him, and it was because he blushed, and I smiled, hugged him, and he did as well. We got to the school, and we got inside. The staff there saw how overprotected as I was on me. I smiled, looked at them, and we were looking at the both of two, and smiled and looked at how we could awesome to each other. We smiled, looked each other in the eyes, and Aizawa told all of them to sit down, and so he could tell them we are expecting our first child, Aizawa. This is so cool. You guys is going to be good parents, said Midnight. Thank you, Midnight, I spoke. That is so cool. Well, you are very welcome to us, said Midnight. I was thinking you could not tell the students yet, said Aizawa. We are so not going to say a word, said President Mick. Knowing you, Mick, you are going to say something, said Aizawa. I promise. Say so. I will not say a word, said Mick. Okay, you promise, said Aizawa. I promise, said Mick. Alright, fine, said Aizawa. We smiled and looked at everyone. My phone went off. I looked at it and it was a text from Michael, saying my brother was playing something. I smiled. Michael was not a villain. He was my psychic. I looked at Aizawa and he gave me the signal to go in and deal with my brother. I got out of the building and had looked into the area Michael had said and where they were, and when I got there, Michael was tied up and he was in danger. I gave William the little stare, signaling to let Michael go. He shook his head and I portaled myself in front of Michael and took his place, and I got the needle in the arm. Michael started to cry and ran me out with the drug in his pocket. And when we got to school, and Michael used my key card and got into this building calling for help. When we got there, we saw the staff took Michael to the staff room and put us in the staff room. We made a barricade so no one of the kids tried to play being a hero. Michael gave Ricardo the drug and she gave it to Namaste, and he started to run to the suicide agents to fight a cure. When he got to the suicide agents, he was making sure they find the cure. When that was happening, they put a mask over me and a heart monitor and a baby heart monitor to track the baby's heartbeats. When that was going on, Michael was having a panic attack. Then Aizawa ran and came in and held Michael like he was his son, and told him it was not his fault, it was William's fault. He smiled and kissed the sleeping Michael's head and went back to class because it was class time. When we heard people trying to break in, the heroes outside was protecting the door from us to be safe. I was losing hope, but I heard Namaste say that he had the cure, and he got in and gave Ricardo the cure, and she injected it into me, and that I started to feel better. And that it was like me and the baby was fine. So yeah, tickle. I smiled and felt better, and Michael got up and hugged me. I smiled and looked at him. And I looked at him and he hugged me and he said something that shocked me. Dad, I'm sorry you went through that. Sir Michael, I know you are sorry, but it's okay because we are fine, I spoke. Thank you, Dad. I love you and my siblings, said Michael. That is good, I spoke. Dad, is he a boy or a girl? Asked Michael. We don't know yet, I spoke. Okay, said Michael. Aizawa came in and hugged us and kissed both our heads, and we smiled and gave Michael the papers he wanted to go and finish with the judge. I smiled and Michael started to cry and hugged Aizawa. Then he hugged me and kissed my head and then called me something better than Dad. Mom, I'm happy you adopted me, said Michael. We are happy you are our son. Ours now, I spoke. Thank you, Mom and Dad, said Michael. You are very welcome, Michael, I spoke. You are very welcome, Michael, said Aizawa. I love you, Mom and Dad, said Michael. I love you too, Michael, I spoke. I love you too, Bud, said Aizawa. Hey, can I join UA? Said Michael. Yes, you can join UA as a first year, said Principal Nazu. Thank you, Sir Nazu, said Michael. You are very welcome, Michael, said Nazu. So I was thinking, taking Michael to the first years, I spoke. Yeah, let's do it, said Aizawa. Alright, let's go show him to 1A, I spoke. We headed to 1A, and when we got going there, I knew Michael was getting scared that they would think of him and like his previous family. So he grabbed my hand, and I knew how scared he was, so I stopped making as I was stop and look at us. I smiled and looked at him, telling him that everything is going to be fine. And I had to talk to Michael. He smiled and stood by us, knowing that we are here for Michael to it all. When we heard Michael start to breathe heavily, I smiled and kissed his head, and he calmed down. Michael, everything is going to be fine. Nothing would hurt you when me and your dad is here for you, I spoke. I know, Mom, but what if they hate me? Said Michael. I don't think they would hate you because you never tried to hurt anyone. You always got them out of the danger, I spoke. I guess you could say that, said Michael. So let's go see your classmates, said Aizawa. Alright, Dad, said Michael. I smiled and we continued walking to the classroom. When we got there, Michael had taken a deep breath. And then I opened the door and the kids were shocked to see Michael and they smiled seeing him in the classroom. I smiled and put Michael in the front of them and I told them to be quiet, to quiet down. And they did, and I showed them to know to be quiet. Michael was shocked. They were ready to meet Michael for the first time. I smiled and looked at them, and Michael was shocked. They were ready. I smiled and looked at them, and then Michael looked at me. Everything is going to be fine, I spoke. Okay, Mom, said Michael. I smiled, looked at them, and then looked at the kids. Then went to tell them who this was. This is Michael Afton, my previous nephew, and now he is my son named Michael Afton. Now is that what I spoke. Hello, Michael, said Ziku. Yeah, hello, Michael, said Kirishima. Hi, everyone, said Michael. Alright, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, but this is part 1.